Is at the 11 Alive Bridge tracking what's trending in reaction to this one as some female athletes call out Nike for hypocrisy. Now, in a New York Times op-ed, it was all laid out. The women claim Nike's inspiring ads for women athletes is just talk and for advertising. And when sponsored athletes become pregnant, the company penalizes them.
I was sponsored by Nike, and then when I told them that I wanted to have a baby during my career, they told me, simple, we'll just pause your contract and stop paying you.
Now, that's Olympic runner Alicia Montano, who authored the op-ed. She became known as the pregnant runner for competing in a national championship while 8 months pregnant. In a statement to the New York Times, Nike says some of its sponsored athletes have had their sponsorship payments reduced because of pregnancies, but the company says it changed its approach in 2018 so that athletes are no longer penalized. Nike did not say if it wrote those changes into the contracts. And in a video, Montano also says she's had similar experiences with other sponsors such as ASICS, but female athletes have been getting up behind this op-ed. Another one, Cara Gusher right there, saying careers are getting longer and longer. It's time all sponsors support women athletes throughout all aspects of their career. And talking about the reality, pregnancy is a part of life for many female athletes. And it's not just athletes that are weighing in the conversation. There are a lot of moms talking about this one too. Another example of shedding the light of the difficulties and the struggles that working moms face. So a lot of people supporting that conversation as well. So glad your story helps bring awareness to the struggles of working moms. You go, girl. Let us know what you think. Use that hashtag Morning Rush ATL.
An interesting quote here from Phoebe Wright, a runner sponsored by Nike from 2010 to 2016, says, "Getting pregnant is the kiss of death for a female athlete. There's no way I'd tell Nike if I were pregnant."
It makes me wonder. Remember, Serena played while she was pregnant.
She did.
And I wonder if she was under that same scrutiny at the time.
Pressure.
I mean, it makes some sense now that this young lady's come out. So I wonder if she'll come out and say what she had to say. But yeah, I do remember that. We didn't find out until closer to the pregnancy, to her having, giving birth. But and it was amazing to me that she played while pregnant, and maybe she was forced to.
Yeah, this is definitely shining a spotlight on that, right?
It's an issue I've never thought would even be an issue. I mean, when a woman is pregnant, her body is doing amazing things. And as an athlete, your body does amazing things. So I would think the two go hand in hand. It's synonymous.
Yeah.
So this is shocking.
I agree 100% with that, but you have to think on the business side of things. A contract is a contract. If it's pre-written into the contract, you got to abide by the contract. My contract says I'm not allowed to go parasailing. So there you go. Wow. If it's in the contract, you got to abide by the contract.
Parasailing.
Does it really say that?
Not jumping out of planes, skydiving.
Does it really say that?
I'm too big to go parasailing.
Oh, my
That's the
goodness.
joke.
I was like, wow, 11 Alive.
It is 6:09 right now.